Okay, gentlemen. I'd ask everyone to rise at this time and face their flag to salute it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. Thank you, council members. Could we pass up the sign? And I believe some of our friends may wish to have a voice tonight. I don't know. There are a few names. Okay. I'll just go in order of what I have here. Oh, wait, what you want to read? Oh, yes, please.
This is just read at the beginning of the meeting before people speak. Please give your name, township, or borough organization which you represent and subject. It is requested that comments be kept to 3 minutes, and comments relative to private property complaints or employee matters should be directed to the manager, the borough council president outside of the meeting. Thank you.
Very good. I guess the first on the list is Tammy Frost. Would you please come up and speak? Oh, any place where we can hear you is fine. If you don't want to shout, you can come close.
I have a big mouth. I'm Tammy Frost. I am Butch Batterson's daughter. I have inherited the Batterson property, and I'm trying my darndest to clean it up, as you can see. I met the other neighbor. He came over when we were hauling cars out. We're trying to get them all to the junkyard. I ran into a little bit of problem with the water situation. Brett Gleason called Dan Close and told him that to shut the water off while I was cleaning. Brett Gleason has no say whatsoever at that property, whatsoever. Then I went to the town cop to file an incident report, and the town cop more or less told me that he was best friends with Brett and Brian and Susie, that he wasn't going to do anything, so I went to the district magistrate about the matter. So the district magistrate is handling the matter. My sister Sherry Kerr is also co-executive with me. Dan Close came down because Brett told him that we were stealing the water. We were not stealing the water whatsoever. They had someone from the water board come down and check. I'm just tired of Brett Gleason. Brett Gleason has no say whatsoever at the Batterson house. But as of right now, I'm digitally working on cleaning up the property and making it look like when we had it.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. Sounds good to me. Next we have Leroy Frost.
I'm with son-in-law. I want to do some work down there. My wife called me one day. Mr. Close was coming to check the water situation. He got out of the van, car, wherever he was driving, I don't remember. I've never been treated the way I was. He told me that Brett had reported we are stealing water. I said, we're not stealing water. And he turned around and said, you are stealing water. I said, no, this is going to be borderline harassment for you following what Brett Gleason is saying. He threw his hands in the air, said, I am not dealing with this, got in his car and he left. Would not even go in the basement after I said, it's right here, go for it. Something needs to be done about this, in my opinion. Especially if we're going to have property owned in this borough township. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Phil Adele, is it? Okay, nothing to say there. Next we have Tina Randall, please. Very good. Wayne Pratt.
I just put my name down. I don't have anything to say except thank God we got cooler weather and some rain.
Okay. Charlie Earl, you have anything for us? No, not totally. All right, very good then. well, we'll go through the list again at the end. Give everyone a second chance. I guess that's it for the public comment. We have, next on the item is the published agenda.
First on the agenda is correspondence, and I would like to read into the record this letter from Tina Randall, written to Mr. Close, Mayor Powers, and Councilman. I have worked for more than 17 and a half years for the Borough of Troy. I gave my best support to the community in every manner. During the time that the borough needed a certified water operator, I attended weekly classes for 3 months prior to testing for certification. I studied on my own time and nothing charged to the borough, and passed the certification testing to cover the need for the community. The last 2 years have become a less than ideal working environment. I had hoped to be able to set Troy Borough on a path to infrastructure repair and long-term capital planning. However, it is clear that it is time for me to move on. Outside influences are doing their best to manipulate government to achieve their own personal goals. Government is intended to be for the good of all people represented, and I hope those in control will remember the people who may be less vocal than others. There needs to be major infrastructure upgrades in this community for it to survive. I urge you to take that into consideration going forward. I tender my resignation with the last working day being Friday, July the 18th, 2025, and will use my accrued vacation and personal time as my notice period. The final official day after using the accrued time would be August 8th of 25. I wish only the best for this community and its transition moving forward. Regards, Tina M. Randall. Minutes? Tim?
Need a motion at this time to accept the minutes that are presented, or if we have any amendments to present them. Are there any amendments to the minutes that you received? I'd be bidding then to get a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
John Davis, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Blair.
Thank you, Blair. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay, motion has carried.
Paid bills June 24 to July 29th of 2025. You have the ledger in your packet. Total is $74,691.39.
What are the transfers to cover checks?
We keep basically a zero balance in the checking.
Okay.
And then when we write the bills out, we transfer money from, if we're writing a bill for the sewer facility, transfer it out of the sewer account where the money is kept in the money market into the checking to cover the checks that were written.
So if needed, we have a list of what checks were transferred from and covered.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's all recorded. It's all
I just hadn't
audited.
seen that in any of the other.
Yeah.
Written
That's
that way, that was all. It's
because,
just
that's
flagging.
because somebody new was working in the other office and brought up a different report than you're typically used to seeing.
No, that's
All
fine.
the
It's just-
information is there, it's just showing a balance.
Yeah, it was different language than I'm used to seeing when
Yeah.
when I glanced down
Yeah,
through.
we keep a
and-
zero balance in checking, and we move the money out of the appropriate account into checking to pay bills relative to that account and to that line item.
Are there any amendments to these bills as paid?
And are you able to tell me which one is for the streetlights? You know where I'm going with this, so I just figured I'd ask.
I'm not prepared right now to tell you which one
Okay.
to penalize. We pay a flat rate in streetlights.
I know, and I could probably go back through some of the other minutes and pull up, see which ones match, probably tell, but I just didn't know if you knew offhand.
I could put that information together if you want, in terms of what the streetlights, whether they're sodium vapor, mercury vapor, whatever.
But that's a standard cost every month, right?
Yeah, it's a flat rate that we pay. It's not a metered cost.
Right.
Right, for all the
Right.
streetlights in the town.
We must have 7 or 8 checks to Penelec every month, too.
Yeah, a lot more than that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, if you're referring to the LEDs, We've made contact with them, and they're supposed to get back to us, and they have not yet. We made contact a week after the last meeting. They assigned it a number, and they still haven't gotten back. I think they're a little befuddled because some of the questions that were asked were, if we go to LED, number one, can you give us a per pole charge so that if we want to do 10 or 5 or 20, if you can do that. Number two, if we go to LED, will the base rate change, or are we just saving money for the electric company? And then there was a third question, and I don't remember what that was right off the top of my head.
Okay,
Did they have anything to say about repairing the ones that are out?
No, we're calling those in. Typically they get around pretty decent and do that.
I've called them.
I've got,
They were there next.
I mean, I guess that's, concern that I have.
you can go to the Penelec website
And call them in.
and call them in, just give them the information, and they generally are out.
Poll number and everything.
Poll number, yep.
If there's no more discussion on the bills, at this time, I'd like to accept a motion to accept these bills as paid.
Make a motion.
Thank you, O'Connor. Anyone else? Second. Thank you, Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Thanks for that.
I've already read into the record the resignation of Tina Randall. And I would notify, I want to inform council at this time that we did put out advertisements for a replacement for the admin assistant with a submission deadline of August the 13th. And we've got 3 resumes and 1 inquiry to date. So that's an ongoing process. Nothing really got done there. I would like to ask for an executive session to have council set a range, a pay range that I can work within in terms of hiring somebody else, because that's one of the questions, of course, that comes up is, what's the job paying?
Yep.
And the council sets a range, then because I think the pay ought to be commensurate with experience.
I mean, that's an administrative problem. We can do that right now, I believe. Just hold an executive session and do it now. Well,
Hold on, gentlemen here. If we're discussing payroll and personal matters, that should be an executive session. As far as doing it now or scheduling a committee meeting at a later date, those are our choices.
With due respect, if we could do it tonight, I don't care if we do it now, but I do have people that are calling me and want to put in a resume and they're asking what the pay rate is. I would like to be able to give them a range, say the range is here and it'll be dependent on qualifications.
But we can hold this at the end of the meeting.
Do it right now if you want to set a range.
Yeah, I'm okay with doing it now or at the end of the meeting, doesn't matter to me.
The rate is public information if somebody were to request it.
Right.
So I don't have an issue with that. What we're currently paying is $24.86 an hour. So,
That includes your water certified operator rate.
right, understood. So if you want to set a range around that number,
Yeah.
Gentlemen, do we want to?
Let's hold an executive session, we'll discuss it real quick, and then, I think the public knowledge part of it comes in once the person's hired, right?
correct?
What the salary would be, so that way, that gives
Yeah, it's our
us
deliberations that need to remain private.
Yeah.
We have a motion on the table from John Robb. Does anyone second it to move into executive session?
Second.
We're gonna do
All
it.
in favor?
Go ahead. Folks, can we excuse you for executive session?
And thus concludes the executive session. We needed a motion on the table for the pay range for the administrative assistant.
I'll make the motion for the pay range of the administrative assistant set at $18 to $23, experience dependent. During discussion, it was also brought up, and I'm also going to motion that we raise the street foreman's pay or street, whatever his official title is, by $2 an hour.
That's a big motion.
That's second vote.
All right, we've got a pay range and a raise on the table. It's too late for discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good, the motion is carried.
I know what it is. Next on the agenda, there's obviously 2 open seats on council, and we have received letters of intent from 2 individuals, one of them being Wayne Pratt, and the other one being Jason Peak. I have those letters of intent here. I invited those individuals via email if they wanted to attend, in case council had any questions that they wanted to ask of them. And then council can decide what they want to do in terms of appointment.
I don't see anything wrong with these letters.
Nope.
Obviously, Mr. Pratt's got a plethora of different experiences in the public eye, which I think is a good thing. Jason, I'm sorry, I don't know you, so I can't really speak to you. I don't see anything out of the, oh, I thought.
He's right there.
He was down there.
Okay.
Don't blame you.
I'll motion we seat both of them.
Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Very good, I'll call it matter to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. Do they get sworn in now?
I doubt that Mike is ready to do that. So.
What's that?
Would you like to swear
You
him in
didn't bring the
now?
swearing in thing, did you?
I didn't bring anything with me.
Okay.
But I could.
What I would recommend is that prior to the next meeting, that Mayor Powers reach out to both individuals. I'll give him their information and set up an appointment to swear them in. And he can either, you guys can either do that just before the next meeting, or you can do it between now and the meeting, and either way they can participate in the next meeting.
You can't pull it up on your iPhone.
If you could, that would be great.
I don't know where to see.
I'd love to benefit from your wisdom.
All right,
Can you
fine.
please explain to them what they're actually, so this position is a fill-in until the election, correct?
Correct.
I just want them both to
Yes.
understand how this works, that's all.
But if we read your email correctly, that because they were seated tonight, they will be placed on the ballot.
Yeah, that will go through the Bradford County Elections
Awesome.
Bureau.
Yeah.
They will be notified of what goes on and what transpires and how that all works, yes. You're filling an existing seat, and in the next municipal election, you would have to run to finish that term if that term goes beyond that date.
You think you got something?
We'll get you set up with the Election Bureau, so you know what you got to do and who you got to deal with. I think.
If acceptable, I'd like to ask for a 5-minute recess so we could look at the ceremony, give our borough manager a chance to go potty, and then seat these 2 gentlemen.
I'm good with that. We need a motion for that then, right?
Yep.
I'll motion we take a short recess for research and reconvene.
Do I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That has passed.
An oath of office for the Borough Council.
You have internet on that end, Keith?
Yeah, I do.
He's got to wind it up first.
I have to do it in Braille. It's all government stuff. I asked for counsel. Like I could just verbatim do this.
So you've been doing it for enough years.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready to do this.
I state your name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fill the office of
Swear and
councilman
stay
with
there and
fidelity.
support it. Yeah,
All right.
You got this, Mike.
I got this.
Well, we lost our president.
That's all right. He's gone up the pass.
He went to the little boy's room.
Well, we got a motion and a second, and Mike's ready with the oath of office. You ready?
No.
Oh, you said you were ready, Mike.
Well, I lied. It's just that it's
Politician.
two words, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
Now you ready?
Yeah, I've been ready.
Okay, so if the candidates would come up forward, over here by the side of the table where the mayor sits, he will give you he'll go through the oath with you, please.
Just repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jason Peak,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
That I will obey.
that I will obey
And support.
and support,
Defend the Constitution of the United States.
defend the Constitution of the United States
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
in this Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
And I will discharge my duties.
And I will discharge my duties
As councilman.
as councilman with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Take a seat, gentlemen, you've been sworn in.
Join the table.
Up here at the big kids' table.
Yeah, I have to go back to the parking lot now and see all the seats are taken.
Well, that was only 3 minutes. Shall we resume?
No.
All right, I recalled this meeting to order. What's next on our agenda?
Next on the agenda is discussion regarding police vehicle. I guess, you want to go, John?
Sure. So we had a committee meeting here a few weeks ago about the condition of some of the equipment within the police department, the police vehicle being one of them. It was put out that the vehicle has, approximately 70,000 miles on it. I think engine hours are up over 100,000, I believe.
How many engine hours are it, Chief?
Which, for those of you that don't know, engine hours just include your idle time, where they're sitting there.
It's 10,172 engine idle hours, 13,679 engine hours. But there's a conversion that puts.
Yeah, I'm running that through the conversion right now.
Right. So regardless of the mileage at this point, which is somewhat,
What's that,
somewhat
John?
high.
So the conversion
Yeah.
from the engine hours, it would basically it equates a normal.
No, I know what it is.
Yeah.
What's the number?
342,000 miles is what it converts out to.
Thank you. Sorry, John.
Some of the other issues we spoke about were the headlights did not work properly. They were entirely too dim, which we've since ordered new ones to get us through. Hopefully they work out all right, but also finding, basically police car rated parts due to the vehicle's year and make and model. They don't make them anymore. So finding pursuit parts for these would be almost impossible. So with all of the contributing factors with this vehicle, we went ahead and got some prices around for a new vehicle. And we're hoping to hopefully, early next year, maybe the end of this year, start looking into grants to cover the cost or some of the cost for a new police vehicle to be ordered and or purchased, next year, early on sometime. I don't think there was any discussion at the time as far as what would be done with the old car. I personally feel as though it should probably just go for a public auction like we've done with some of the other vehicles. But that's just my opinion. So that's where we stand with the police vehicle.
Thank you. I would like to interject too that obviously we have a lot of vehicles in the borough that we deal with and a lot of equipment that's high cost. And so I think what we need to do, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the purchase of a police vehicle, working toward that for 2026, but I think we also need to look at what we're doing in terms of our utility vehicles that are, under heavy use. We have a 2011 pickup. It's the utility vehicle, utility pickup that has 57,000 miles on it. And our street supervisor did the math on that, and that's 162,000 engine, and that's starting to gain a little bit of rust. We did buy that used. We also have a 219 and a 217 F550, I believe they are, dump trucks that are used for plowing, plus the digs for water and sewer and that sort of thing. So I think we need to take a look at all of our vehicles and see how we want to do that moving forward. Not that they would all be necessarily next year. Maybe two of them could be done next year. As I said in the committee meeting, these are purchases that need to be capitalized. And I would say, like the police vehicle, with the numbers we were looking at, we're looking at a 7-year capitalization where we would actually put in the police budget an amount each year so that is paid for at the end of 10. The money will come out of the general fund, which is already there, from money that hasn't been spent. But we'll replace that so that in 7 years, we've got that money back in the reserve to do that again if that needs to happen. So I think we need to look at our whole group of vehicles between now and the end of the year to talk about what we want to do next year when we make that final vote to make a purchase. Just putting that out there for folks to think about as we're going down the road.
And I mean, this could quite possibly work to our advantage a little bit by a couple $1,000s if we can find some place. I'm not sure where the research was done for the cost on a new police vehicle, but you know, I know a lot of places will give you a dang good deal if you buy two. So they don't necessarily have to be the same make and model, but you know, we could quite possibly get a 2500 or an F250, whatever the case may be, along with, you know, a police vehicle. I know they're built differently, but you know,
most of your big dealerships that handle municipal needs cross the gamut from, you know, patrol cars to municipal equipment trucks and stuff like that. So that shouldn't be an issue to work with our company together.
There are companies out there that will help with they call it fleet management.
Yeah. How long ago did we buy the pickup? You said it was used.
I can't tell you. I don't have that in my head.
My only thoughts was on that side, would it may be worth looking at a long-term commercial lease compared to buying it outright?
One or two of the F550 dumps, we actually did those through a lease program where they were leased over, one of them or both of them, I don't remember which, but were leased over a 5-year period through a bank.
And then we bought out the lease.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of options. I think the only thing is and I think that decision through discussions has already been made, but you know, when we get closer to the end of the year, we should be taking a vote on, yes, we're going to move forward and do this.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
But all the rest of it, I think, is in a ball. The next thing on the agenda, we're done with that, Mr. Tim.
We are.
Is the RFP for a borough solicitor. And we went through the draft at the last meeting, and it was voted to go ahead and formalize the draft. And the only thing I'm coming back for is I would like to advertise this RFP August 6th, 13th, and 20th, and with a response date due by September 10th. The only thing I'm still, and you could just give me the okay on this, is when I do the advertisement, I would like to have the opening after the September 10th, obviously before the September meeting, but early enough that we would have time to look at those. So we open them in a public meeting, a special public meeting prior to the monthly meeting, because there's going to be a lot of information to go over. It's not just like a street project where it's a one set number and here's what it's going to be. You're going to have costs for different attorneys and at different levels and whatnot.
I'd kind of like to shorten that. I ideally would like to have a solicitor that we could hire by next meeting.
John, I don't think that's going to be possible. There's a lot to this.
Oh, I know.
And with everything else that's going on right now, for me to jump in and make something like this happen that quick, I don't think I can do it.
So how soon can you get that?
Well, that's what I gave you here. I think September 10th is the deadline for opening them up. That gives us August 6, 13, and 20 to advertise. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions coming back and forth about this I think in the meantime, if we have issues, and I wanted to bring this up because as we go forward talking about code enforcement, there's, the framework is on here. I think we should have an attorney look at that. So if we need to hire an attorney for a couple specific reasons, while this is in process, I think that's the way to go. But there's some things that we're doing that I really feel uncomfortable moving forward with unless an attorney reviews it and says, yes, you're right there or wrong there, or tweak this or tweak that. So if everybody's in agreement with that, that's the way I would prefer that you move forward. It's your call.
I make a motion.
We'll move forward with an interim solicitor.
Is there any further discussion on that matter?
And that's to include the advertisement.
Yeah, okay, I'll just add all that in.
Yep.
Where all do you post the advertising?
For the administrative assistant, I did that in the Review and the Williamsport Star.
Okay.
Sun Star, Star Sun.
Because
And that, one of the three proposals that came from the advertisement in Towanda, and the other two came from Williamsport.
Okay.
We got some time yet on those coming in, so I'd like to wait and see what more we get before we jump any further.
Do we have an Indeed account? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You put it on Indeed?
Do we have one?
I did not.
Indeed, I didn't know if we had an Indeed account. I know we don't hire. I'm sorry? Okay.
Also, your
I probably got picked off from Williamsport.
the RFP that you sent us the phone number in there for them to contact has an extra digit, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Hopefully a RFP will go out.
Well, it hasn't gone out yet, so we're okay.
I just figured I'd bring it up.
thanks for spotting it.
Thank you.
Yep.
And you have the list of accounts for utility terminations? I don't have it. Oh.
Something here marked termination.
Yep.
There we go. That account at the top, I would slow the roll on just a little bit, and the one at the bottom, I would slow the roll on. They are making what I'm considering to be a strong effort.
Fair enough.
Then the other two, I think we need to follow through with the liens.
Oh, wait a minute here. So the third one down says that they paid $250 and they only have a balance of $131.
Yeah, my recommendation is based on history.
Okay, copy this.
So all I would need would be a motion to move forward as I have laid out, unless somebody wants more clarification.
Does anyone care to move?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
If there's no further discussion, then we'll put the matter to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Thank you. We just talked briefly about the framework on the code enforcement. That's one of the items that I'd like to see go to an attorney for discussion of, or a review of, to come back to us.
Yeah, and it looked like the majority of what you had was pulled right out of our existing framework that, what is it? I can't remember the section number off the top of my head. It's like an 18,000 I'm rolling around right now. But it looked like it was the stuff that's already been existing since the early 2000s.
Yeah, these things are pretty much boilerplate anyway. Right. There's just a couple of questions that I think need to be answered in terms of access and those types of things. There's some statements in here about liability and that, and I think that ought to be answered by an attorney and by our insurance agent.
Absolutely.
And then the other issue is, unless we're going to change the management council form of government, I think the individual needs to report to the manager, not directly to council. That becomes an issue going down the road. You'd have to, and if you're going to change the form of government, that gets pretty dicey. So I think we need to talk about that a little bit. And I think if we look at what we're doing, bringing another body might not be the answer. The more of the answer might be using the bodies we have in a different way. But that's something I think we ought to have while the attorney's looking at this, and we can bring him or her in on that as well, would be to have a committee meeting and open committee meeting and discuss it more in depth, how to do that. And I think if we do that, we don't slow the process up.
I don't necessarily have a problem with them reporting to you directly as long as there's 100% transparency there. You know, I know a lot of times things get lost in conversation or don't get written down, but like, you know, our recommendation for this individual was to cover the lack of these issues being handled. So, you know, if just like the police report comes out, you know, 8 arrests or 10 arrests or whatever the case may be, I would like to see a wrap up, essentially a weekly or semi-monthly basis showing that we're getting our money's worth out of this person. So
yeah, he could compile a monthly report and be presented at a council meeting.
Absolutely. I just, you know,
I say he, whoever it may be. He's a cool.
What would be your reaction if they presented a report that there were no violations detected?
Then that may very well be.
Were you getting your money's worth?
We could only, yes.
Is he patrolling? You know,
That's the question.
I mean, I guess my thought behind this is not a full-time position. It's never have been. It's 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a week.
Oh, sure, yeah,
So
just 1 or 2 days.
if he does
would
that
be it.
time, or whatever contracted time it may be, and he doesn't find anything that he feels in his discretionary powers that it warranted a citation or whatnot, then so be it. Who are we to nitpick over that?
Sure.
Well, I think the ordinances you're looking to have looked at a little better. I don't think they're the kind of ordinances where you want somebody patrolling around looking for. Typically, they're the ones that if you as a council member get a complaint or see and bring back and say, hey, we ought to address this one, we go and address it. I don't think anybody needs to be driving around seeing if Joe Blow mowed his lawn this week, or if he took his car off the front blocks in the front yard, or cleaned up the tree that he cut down 2 weeks ago and left all the lumber around.
The problem is, Dan, we do need somebody to do that because you're too busy.
But
I've brought hundreds of
But
things.
do we need to bring another individual onto payroll to do that?
And that's
Or is there
exactly
somebody
how
within
other
our
municipalities that have these programs do it. They put a person out there. 99.9% of any violation found is through open view.
If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I still think this needs to go to an attorney for review.
I agree there.
Yep.
But I'm also looking at, you know, a couple of our employees that are sitting in here that are probably thinking right now, oh my God, I'm going to get more work. And
No, I wouldn't recommend that one of our utility employees do that, because code enforcement is a real bear. It's like the chief over here pulling somebody over for speeding or a stop sign or whatever. These folks have got to work out there amongst the people, and they can't have people PO'd at them because he was at my house last week and made me take care of my junk vehicle. And now he's got to come on my property and help with a water shut off or whatever might be going on. So I wouldn't recommend that. You got to have some cushion for those guys that are out there doing utility work, because they interface with the public every day and they can't have that reputation of being the hatchet man.
I guess I don't understand what you're throwing out here then, because without them, you and the chief are the only two left.
Initially, when we interviewed the chief for the job, we asked the question, would you be opposed to helping to enforce ordinances? His answer was, no, I would not be opposed to that, and he has helped a couple of times, at least 2 that I know of, with a couple that we've asked him to take care of. I don't, you know, unless he's going to tell me that he just doesn't have the time to do that, then I'd say, okay, then if that position can't do it. And we're bringing on another part-timer for the police department. He's going to be ready to come in soon. Chief told me here this last week. That could be a use of the part-time individual. See, we already got, if we're gonna use him as an officer, he's already on the payroll. Maybe there's some time that he can be used as a code enforcement versus, and if you're concerned about him being in uniform, then let him do code enforcement in plain clothes.
That is my biggest concern. I'd much rather prefer someone with a polo shirt would put an orange card in my door than somebody with police uniform.
Yeah, it's not good. Matter of fact, there's municipalities in this county that have been addressed by the state for having their police do code enforcement. Regardless of a local ordinance authorizing it, the state says, no, police are not gonna be doing it.
If we do need. and it
So
sounds
there
like
is a
we do.
state issued edict that
Yeah.
police cannot enforce local ordinances.
Yeah, talk to Athens Borough. They were one of them that got it.
Okay.
When they were, who was the previous chief, Brian?
Chris Hutchison.
Yeah, it was Hutch that was doing it while he was the chief.
Well, let's take that as true then. So we would want then a different person than a uniformed officer doing this. So, unless you suddenly found yourself with 80-hour days instead of 24-hour days, then perhaps we do need an additional person. So then the questions regarding this framework was the potentiality of amending Article 2, Section 3. Or no, I'm sorry. Wait, what's that? Was it?
My opinion is we table this until the attorney looks, until we get an interim attorney and they look at it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion on the table, Mr. President.
Oh, it was, I'm sorry. Would you
Motion
repeat?
that we table this until an interim solicitor can be acquired and review this.
That's a fine motion.
Would like to have that accomplished within the next 14 days.
What's that, John?
I would like to have that accomplished within the next 14 days if possible.
Do you accept that amendment?
I accept the amendment.
Very good. Do we have a second for this amendment all together then? Table this until someone can look at it within the next 14 days.
Who seconded?
Oh, no,
He's asking for
second.
second.
John
I'll second.
amended. Okay, well, we'll take John seconded too. All right, then, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Just informational, JCI sulfur dioxide increase. Jones Chemical has increased sulfur dioxide cost again. Not much we can do about it. We have a request in here for a homecoming parade to be held October 10th, 25 at 5 p.m. I need to get a letter of agreement from the council back to the school so that they can move forward with the state permit for the highway use.
What was the date on that?
October 10th,
Yep. Beginning at 5 o'clock.
starting at 5.
I'll make a motion that we approve the permit request for the homecoming parade.
I'll
Thank you,
second.
John. Thank you, Chris. Unless there's no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion has carried.
And you have, I'd like to also get a motion on, we went over at the last meeting or the meeting before, the borrowing base certificate for our borrowing from the municipal authority. I think I put that in your packets, and I would just like to have a motion to accept that certificate as prepared by our solicitor at the time, so that I have in the record that it was approved by council. Unless you don't want to approve it.
I'll motion to approve.
Any second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you, Chris. There's not much to discuss here. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Motion's carried.
Thank you. You also have in your packet your police report for the month, and if you have any questions, I would direct them to the chief.
I'd just like to add to that, gentlemen, that I was talking with the chief before our meeting. As you know, we just finished up with the Troy Fair, and I wanted to make it known on record that the chief made several observations and patrolling of Valperon Park as well. He had excellent cooperation from the clientele at the park. Also, we discussed that he's going to try his best to revolve his hours, so he's more visual, more diligent. They can monitor that he's making more of an appearance. And I guess officially saying the last several weeks that he's been with us, I have nothing but good rapport from the residents of the borough, vendors, store owners, business owners, and also the residents. They're glad to see him patrolling, and I just hope it's a good indication for the future endeavors. So I appreciate what you're doing so far, Chief, and continued success.
Just to add to that, before I forgot to visit, I contacted the state police. For the month of June, they had 10 responses to Troy Borough when I was not on duty. So I'm gonna try and get that incorporated into my report, just so you know when I'm not here, what they are covering.
And that was just calls for service that they actually responded to?
Correct.
So, and this is not negative towards our trooper, but the actual calls that they received about complaints in the borough was probably significantly high. They're understaffed to respond to everything.
Thank you, Chief. I guess it's time for the public gets a second chance at speaking if they like. First and last is Tammy Frost, if she has more to say. If not, Leroy Frost.
I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do my dad owns two properties down there. Well, Carol owned one, my dad owns the other one. The greenhouse currently has no water because there's an outstanding, like, $90 bill that was run up by my stepbrother and his wife. Now, how come that's my responsibility to take care of that, to get the water turned on to the greenhouse?
I think you've already reported that, to put that matter before Judge Wilcox.
Okay,
So he's going to decide that.
okay.
Was there anything else? No? Okay. Does Phil want to speak? No, he don't want to speak.
That $2 increase for one employee, what was that on?
I'm sorry?
$2. That was,
Nick Chitola, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
Basically, the street supervisor has been performing the duties of the supervisor for several months with no increase in pay. And that just came to our attention.
Okay, what was the previous pay that person got?
I don't have that on top of my head.
Let's see. And, for the two new people on the council, do they serve until the election or the end of the year?
Till their replacements are sworn in January.
Correct.
Okay.
They might replace themselves.
Oh, there you go. Let's see. And, for the solicitor, is there currently an interim or acting solicitor, or how does that work?
That's what they just voted on tonight, was to bring somebody in as an acting solicitor until we get the RFP completed.
And is that anyone in particular?
That we don't have anybody at this time. That's, will be one of my next assignments, is to get somebody to do that.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Dina Randall, did you wish to speak? Come on up so we can hear you.
You'll find some of this to be redundant. Some of it was already in my resignation letter. I'm going to do my best to keep it to 3 minutes. It may run over slightly. There seems to be some misunderstanding as to why I've chosen to leave my position with the borough and pursue other employment. This action was started in motion last year when a local businessman asked Mr. Close when he would be retiring and what the plan forward is. Dan relayed that there was a memo of understanding in place that I would assume the manager position upon his retirement. The businessman replied that that couldn't happen as I didn't have the personality for it. Not that I didn't have the experience, business acumen, or capability, but that he had an issue with my personality. A few months after that, when the personnel committee was discussing transition plans, when to advertise, etc., the shakeup began. A special meeting was advertised regarding the memo of understanding that was voted into place in 22, voted and approved by 3 of the same councilmen, who then voted to repeal it. A motion was made and the vote by a quorum of council repealed my career path forward. One councilman commented that all I knew how to do was pay the bills and walk the dog. Another councilman stated that they weren't sure they wanted someone who had worked under Dan for so many years. I feel that my future career path was altered based on other people's beliefs and actions, with little regard to who I am as a person or as an employee. The same employee who had exemplary attendance, kept meticulous records, went above and beyond in my position, getting state certified in public water safety. No one inquired about my experience level or asked me what I thought should be the borough's path forward. At that juncture, I began to explore my career options. Over the next few months, only one councilman approached me for conversation regarding the borough, and unfortunately that councilman has since resigned. Recently, an employer who appreciates my experience, skill level, and talent offered me a position, and I accepted. It was a difficult decision to leave the borough. It has become a less than ideal working environment, but I had dedicated 17 and a half years to the borough and its residents. During that time, I planned my PTO around the needs of the borough and the activities required of my position to ensure that all audits, reporting, receipts, and invoices were completed as needed and according to time frames. There had never been any cross-training for my job, as it was assumed that I would always be there to handle everything. I feel my dedication and commitment were grossly overlooked and underappreciated. Moving forward, I hope the taxpaying residents and businesses step up and push for improvements the community needs to survive. Troy Borough's infrastructure is in desperate need of updating. The sewer plant needs repairs, the water system needs upgrades, and there needs to be some capital planning for these issues going forward. Everyone wants the community to look like a postcard. However, if the borough doesn't make plans to take care of the ticking time bomb issues going on under the ground, this community will be in dire straits in a matter of years. That's the harsh reality of putting infrastructure needs off. It's time the approach turns from reactive managing to proactive managing. And while I would like to be the person to see the borough through that process of fixing these issues and being more proactive, it's time for me to move on. I wish this community the best of luck going forward, and I hope you're able to find the leadership you need. Thank you for your time.
Very well.
Thank you, Peter.
Charlie Earl, did you wish to contribute tonight? Does anyone on council have anything for the good of the borough? Well, I guess that's a motion to adjourn. I need a motion to adjourn and we get out of here.
Make a motion.
Is there a second? Oh, John seconds, okay. All in favor?
You gonna whack the hammer? You know you want to.